How can managers improve their digital intelligence? Joining us for this week's Smith Business Close-Up is Sunil Mithas, an associate professor in the Decision Operations and Information Technology Department. Dr. Mithas, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Let's start with exactly what is digital intelligence? What do you mean by that?
I think very simply it can be described as understanding how to make use of information technology for one's firm or one's organization, and then be able to make use of the power of information technology to strategize and to execute IT-enabled strategies to compete in the marketplace. So that is a very simple way of describing what digital intelligence is. And in the book, I talk about three pillars of that: how to synchronize information technology and strategy, how to govern information technology, and how to manage information technology projects.
The title of your recent book is Digital Intelligence, What Every Smart Manager Must Have for Success in an Information Age. So, Professor, why must people outside of, say, the IT department know this stuff?
That's a very good question, Jeff. I think, and this is my favorite question, and many times this question comes up from our MBA students at the Smith School. And the very simple way of describing that is, if you think about many companies in the recent times, think about companies like Borders, think about companies like Blockbuster, and there are other examples like that. Foxmere Drug is another example. About 15 years back, this was a $5 billion company. And many of these companies have really failed. They became bankrupt. They are not existent anymore. So it doesn't really matter whether you work for the IT organization or you're outside the IT organization. If your company goes down and if you're not keeping on top of information technology, regardless of whether you work for the marketing function, whether you work for the procurement function, everybody needs to have a stake in the IT organization of their company. So which is why the book makes a very powerful argument that regardless of your current functional affiliation, everybody needs to have some basic understanding of information technology so that you can articulate what the role of information technology should be in your current function and what it should be in your organization, and you should be able to take it to the top management of your company. I'll give you a very simple example if you allow me.
Please.
Think about a company like Xerox. Xerox in 1970 used to have all the technologies that eventually were used by companies like Microsoft and Apple. They already had a graphical user interface, they already had the mouse, but somehow the business executives at Xerox and IT executives at Xerox, they never were able to articulate for themselves what they could have done with those technologies. Using very essentially the very same technologies, companies like Apple and Microsoft have been able to achieve a market capitalization that is hundreds of times of more than of what Xerox is right now. So this actually goes to show that everybody has a stake in what IT is doing in that organization.
How can companies put that idea into practice? In other words, how can people in the organization who aren't in technical or engineering positions improve their digital competency?
This is a very good question once again, Jeff. And I think I have two things to say about this. One is education. So if you are senior leader of a company, and even if you are at the middle management, one should try to get educated. And I think to begin with, one should read this book to familiarize with some basic contents. But also one should think about attending, let's say, Smith School or other business schools which offer courses on strategic and transformational IT. So that is one way, getting education on the importance of information technology. And the second part of it is getting some relevant experience. So even if you are currently not affiliated with information technology at all, you should try to get some exposure to information technology projects in your organization. And thankfully, if you look at many companies these days, they end up spending something like 50% of their capital budgets on information technology. So there are plenty of opportunities out there. And I would very strongly request all managers to find ways of getting engaged with IT projects. They should not worry about, even if they don't have any IT competence as of now, they don't have any technical background. Slowly, over a period of time, thankfully, they can acquire these things. And it starts with taking personal responsibility and understanding that it is really critical for their success.
All right. Sunil Mithas joining us from the Smith School of Business. Sir, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Jeff. It was good having you with you.